Hi Alana, I just want to talk a little bit about a book I've been reading about the layout workbook. And it basically talks about the design process, and it's something that I've struggled with in the past, trying to think of an idea before I've researched enough and trying to think of a finished idea and not just generally going with the design process. I think this time I've done a lot better with that. I've decided to go with the owl now after having a fair few different ideas, going back and forth. And I've been doing a lot of thumbnail sketches in my workbook. Some of them are neater than others. Some of the rough ones I've generally been concentrating on composition. My idea is if I get the composition, something like with lots of little thumbnails, once I do actually move into Illustrator or Photoshop, it's going to make the process a lot more quicker and efficient, and I'm going to know where I'm going with my design, and it's a lot easier to do it in my workbook with a pen or a pencil. And like I say, I've been reading this layout workbook, and it talks about just trusting the design process really, and not worrying too much about your end design. Just let it mutate and morph into whatever it ends up as, and I think I have pretty much done that this time so far. I mean, I'm not onto a finished product yet, but I'm starting to think about going into Illustrator or Photoshop. Yeah, I'm back to the design in hand. Last time I talked about how I quite like this composition and having my owl sort of where this handbag stroke camera is, and then film clips falling out from the owl. I've done lots of, as I just mentioned, I've done lots of thumbnails in my folder, and I've more or less got what I think I want now. I think I have a couple of the owl, or a couple of the owl flying, one of the owl's face with the eye staring, and then film clips falling from the owl. And then as this guy has used generally what's falling down as a pattern, I think if I move over to say I had my owl in that corner and film clips falling out, if I then move over to another slide, totally take the owl out of the equation, and then just generally have lots of shapes and film clips falling down. It's carrying the feel and the feel and the mood of the slides through onto the second ones. I've been looking at owls, on which owls to use, and for the stare I think I'm going to use something like this one here. If I trace around that with polygon, make that into a polygon owl, and as I move up to been looking at lots of different ones and what have you, particularly like that one because of the stare and the attitude it's got. It looks like it's looking straight at you and staring you out, and I think that's going to grab the viewer's attention. I think another thing that's worth mentioning is people naturally see people staring out the corner of the eye, and I think that's an added bonus to the design. It's going to catch your attention if you see somebody's big eye staring at you. And then as for the one where the owl's flying and film clips are falling from the owl, I quite liked this one here. I think this has got quite a lot of a nice movement in the owl. If you look at the wings and the wingspan, you've got to admit, it looks quite impressive, does that owl? It'll make a quite striking visual image. If you imagine that owl there, if I start off with an owl that's staring and then move on to a slide where you've got the big polygon owl like that, wings out spread out wide, and some text up in this top corner to do with the film festival. And then if I move on to my second slide, and you've got that owl there, then in small in the background where this bag is there, and the film clips are then falling from the owl, and then move over to next slide, and then something similar to this where I've removed the owl and the film clips are creating a type of pattern, a type of theme that's falling through onto the next slides. I think that's going to, if you've got all the background same, I quite like the idea of it being on a night sky and all the typography similar. I think that's going to have quite a nice effect, quite the same look and feel. And I think each individual image would be a strong enough image to be shown on its own or as a 4 or just 2 of them, and I think that's quite an added bonus. I've sketched these all out in my work pad, and now I'm about to start moving over to Illustrator, and next time you see one of these videos, hopefully this little guy will have taken shape in the form of a polygon.